We charted that growth. It showed that the area the Grand Forks took, they would not occupy for over 100 years. And that's where we had a lot of concern about what's reasonable, because they in effect suspended anybody's rights in that whole area until the city decided what to do when they got there. And to suspend someone's rights for an idea that you may need a street here in 100 years just seemed to us to be an abuse of power.
Klaus Lemke was a Burleigh County Commissioner when the extraterritorial authority was extended from 2 to 4 miles in Bismarck.
And they took it, in my opinion, they took that extra 2 miles because they could.
Terry Bierke is a Grand Forks City Council member. He had this to say when we asked him about what the city's intentions were.
I just think it's a land grab. It's just an attempt to control people, and that's my opinion.
Perry Ronning is the Stanley Township zoning administrator. Stanley Township is just south of Fargo, where ET zoning issues have been a hot topic. He also thinks it's a land grab.
They don't know what's out there, nor do they seem to much care. It's just, we want control.
In Burleigh County, Bismarck took the extra 2 miles when county officials strongly disagreed with the decision.
I knew it was common, and what I did at that time on the commission, we talked about, the Burleigh County Commission, we talked about it, and every one of us strenuously objected to that. I was the spokesperson for the county commission. I went to the city commission meeting and begged them not to do that, and showed several of the reasons why not. But in these instances, they would not listen to us at all.
Yet there was little the county could do. Another reason for the city's land grab, besides regulatory control, is money. You see, when cities exercise extraterritorial zoning authority in land outside its limits, all building permit revenue goes to the city instead of the townships.
Building permits, the funding is gone for building permits. In 1998, I issued 59 building permits. This year I'll be lucky if I issue 10.
Darrell Bragg is chairman of the Grand Forks County Citizens Coalition, which is helping defend property owners. According to Bragg, it's about the money.
And so they recommended it be 7 miles south of Lakota and 1 mile west. And they had a site there. And the city of Lakota owned the land. So Lakota, the city of Lakota, was willing to place a landfill there. So they talked to all the cities in the region at that time, 1990, and said, we'll open a landfill if you'll give us your garbage. Because they were going to go into the revenue thing, make money on it, and it was a safe place. The city of Grand Forks is the only one that refused to bring their garbage to Lakota, because they said, here's the quote, we have our own hole to fill. So they wanted to become the regional center, because it's all about money. It's nothing about what's right. It's about money.
Terry Bierke, a Grand Forks City Council member, agrees with Bragg that it's about the money.
There's a reason they're trying to get that land, and a lot of times I think it has to do with money. I think that they're looking for tax base, and my argument would be then, well, control your spending and you won't need more money.
All over North Dakota, we hear stories about property owners losing their ability to control their land without having any say in the process. Scott Johansson lives in the extraterritorial area around Minot.
We just happened to have the TV turned on one day and noticed that the local news said that there was a company, oil field company, that wanted to put explosives, or they wanted a request to put explosives, store explosives. And so that kind of piqued my interest, because I noticed it was the building that's near us. So then so I did some investigation and found out that the county planning agency sent it to the city council to get approved, and so I had a friend help me prepare a statement and all, and went to the city council and presented my statement, and was, I think, 3 or 4 aldermen agreed with me, and the rest voted to let the explosives stay in. And then after that, that's when I found out about the territorial zoning. One thing that struck me as odd is that the city council was able to vote on issues that affect me, but I don't have a voice on who I want elected to city council.
This retired priest living in the ET area told us what his experiences with the city were like.
When did I start learning about it? I never heard of it until, what, a couple years ago? When Grand Forks took over the 4-mile zoning.
And when Grand Forks took over, I mean, did you get any notice, or what happened? Like, how did you find out about it?
It's on the paper.
Okay.
And then they interviewed the mayor, and the mayor said that they wanted to use it for planning and to prevent urban sprawl.
Okay.
And that kind of aggravated me because I thought they're only pushing out urban sprawl further out. And the mayor is not the mayor, is not our mayor. If he wanted to get a discussion going, he should, he can use his post as mayor and say, let's talk about the problems of urban sprawl, but he never did it. He just decreed it. And then after it was done, decreed, they published a map. I didn't think I was in that zone because I thought I lived 5 miles from town. And then I found out that I'm in it. So I wrote the mayor a letter. He's a friend of mine, used to be. And I wanted to spend 10 minutes with him just to get just what is going on. But he didn't ever return my call. If I want to put an addition on my chicken coop, I have to get permission from the city and meet the standards of whatever they lay down for me. They are ruling my life. They're making the regulations. Nobody has any say here except the city. And I have no say on who these people are. I can't vote. And that's actually, personally, my biggest frustration, is that I have been denied my constitutional rights. The definition of democracy, as I understand it, is that the governed decide who governs. And I've been denied that.
Speaking at the North Dakota Township Officers Association meeting in Bismarck, Ryan Scott explains what happened to him and his family.
We purchased a nice 10-acre corner parcel in Rye Township in Grand Forks County. After about 6 exciting weeks in our new home, we read in the local newspaper Grand Forks was looking at placing a landfill across the road from us. I was well aware that we were in the 4-mile zone when we purchased the property, but not too concerned, as it is zoned A1, which I thought was to preserve agricultural and control urban sprawl. This section of land, which they are considering using for this landfill, is the only full section farmed in Rye Township. After attending numerous meetings, I realized we didn't have any control over the city officials making the decisions in our front yard. I find it really unfair to have to abide by rules made by officials that I can't vote for or against. The city of Grand Forks told us we can put the landfill across the road from you and there's nothing you can do about it.
Leading the legislative charge to eliminate ET zoning is State Representative Dwight Wrangham.